Legendary producer Sandy Pearlman takes on the music industry. Today on Call for Help.
It's not one cowbell. You gotta go.
Whoops.
I got a fever. Welcome to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. Actually, the guy Sandy, I don't hope he doesn't take this wrong, but I believe he was the inspiration for the I Got a Fever cowbell segment on Saturday Night Live, because he was the guy who produced Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. He's going to talk about a new way that the music industry can survive or die in just a little bit. Andy and Amber are here, my Call for Helpers.
Hi, Leo.
Hello.
Hooray.
Boy, we are in bright colors
I know,
today.
we're very
Yes,
colorful.
we are.
I know.
I didn't get the bright color memo.
Where's your pink shirt, though?
It has a little pink on it up here.
No, it's
Hurley.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, Hurley. What does Hurley mean?
It's just a brand name.
Is it Elizabeth Hurley's new label?
No.
She does have a label, but it's bikinis only, I think.
That's good.
Yeah, Amber could wear a Hurley.
Yeah, that's
sometime.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
So mean.
Hey, Amber.
Yeah.
Can you show us how to hit the cowbell again? Because you kind of goofed it off the top.
Let's see.
All right. Okay, so what do you want me to do? How do you want me to do?
Just hit it once. Oh, there we go. See?
I know.
I just thought you needed a little bit of practice or something like that.
I don't know how you got me to do that.
Oh, now please, come on now. What makes you the cowbell expert? Have you done this a lot?
No.
No.
He just wants to play with
He
it, that's
just wants
all.
to play with the cowbell. Actually, Andy's got a really cool segment coming up. What?
I do. You know, we all kind of buy a computer and we add up one monitor.
Yeah.
And, you know, but you can actually add up to 10.
Get that cowbell away from him, please.
No cowbell.
10 monitors? We aren't going to do 10. We've got, how many, 4?
I'm going to show you how to add 4 monitors to a
4
Windows
monitors.
XP system, yeah.
Wait till you see this. It is so
It's very,
slick.
very cool, yeah.
So slick. And Amber, you're going to do Yahoo.
Yes, Yahoo Next. Be careful. You know how Google has Google Labs where they're experimenting and releasing beta versions of new projects? Well, Yahoo Next is the equivalent of Google Labs. So we're going to take a look at some services that they offer.
I love it that all these guys are cross-pollinating and the best stuff from one is going to the other and so
And they're
forth.
copying each other, and it's kind of a little
great.
bit like a battle, and you get to kind of watch it happen and test out some of these applications they're launching.
Well, we benefit.
Yes.
The competition is great. I mean, this is exactely what, you know, competition is all about.
I love
Everybody
it.
gets better because of it. It's really good. Yeah.
How do cowbells factor into it?
It doesn't.
Cowbell competition. Greg Dambrook is also here. He's going to show you how to take your pictures, your family photos, and put cartoon captions on them. It is such a fun way. We've always done these kind of caption contests where you caption this picture. Well, you can actually put it in as a thought balloon. So a lot of good stuff on the show
Sounds
today.
like a great show.
We do call it Call for Help for a reason, though, don't we? I hear a call.
Yes, we have Ashley on the line from Surrey, British Columbia.
Hello, Ashley.
Hi, Leo.
Welcome to the show, and say hello, ladies and gentlemen, to Basil, camera number 1. Da, 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 da. How are you, Ashley?
Doing very good, Leo. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. What can I do for you today?
Well, first of all, I heard the cowbell. I have my own cowbell, too.
Listen to that. That sounds like a real cowbell, like would hang around the neck of a cow.
It actually is one.
Wow. How come you have a cowbell?
Just picked it up in a garage sale one time, and it hangs on the door to my computer room.
I love it. That's great. So when somebody comes in, you hear the bell ring.
Yeah.
That's great. It's a security. So what can I do for you today?
I seem to have broken the search capability in Windows Explorer on my Windows XP2 machine.
It's search. You can't search for anything, huh?
Yeah, even if you enable the button on the toolbar and you click on the search button, nothing happens.
Let me just kind of clarify in my mind what you're talking about. So you're talking about not internet search,
No,
computer
Windows Explorer.
search,
I want to find a file.
and you are here in the Windows Explorer, which is the, if you open my computer, that's the Explorer view. And you're saying that you don't see that search bar on the left, the pane for searching on the left? Is that
And
it?
if I do a Control F, it doesn't do a thing.
Huh.
It's something that I use all the time, and what I think I did was I used one of the tweak programs, and it
You tweaked it out of
it
existence.
tweaked it out of existence. Yeah.
So if you do a Control E,
Doesn't do a thing.
It doesn't do, you don't get the search companion, you don't get anything there, that pane is gone.
It's gone, yeah. And as I said, even if I enable the button in the toolbar, if I click on it, nothing happens.
Huh. That's interesting. And you okay, how about if when you're on the desktop, you press F3, does that do anything?
I'll give it a try.
Because F3 is for searching. F3 launches the search pane.
Not a thing.
Not a thing, huh? Actually, it's not doing anything on mine either. Maybe my does it do it on yours, Andy? F3, if you press F3 to get a, maybe my keyboard's not working.
Search comes up in the left-hand window.
Yeah, well, you've got, as I do on my Windows
it's set up
Explorer.
as Google, right? Because
So what is it, how could he have deleted his search? I guess it could be that, yeah, my keyboard's dead. That's why mine's not working. I don't have keyboard functionality. But normally, press F3 and see if that works. Does that work, Ashley?
No, it doesn't.
Nothing. Well, clearly search has been disabled somehow. So it's got to be a registry key or something like that that has been munged with. What tweak program were you using?
I used more than one, Leo, and didn't like them. They were freebies from the internet, and I've deleted them now.
Yeah.
So
Well, clearly that did something wrong. I would help you, but I can't type anything right now. So Mikey is now going to crawl down. I always like this when Mikey does this.
I just, while we have a little break there, there's a couple of thoughts. One is you could try using actually System Restore, of course, to go back to the way it was before.
Yeah.
That's one way. That's one way to deal with it.
That worked.
I'm trying to avoid doing that because there's a lot of legit things that I have done on the machine.
Okay. The other thought is that you may have somehow corrupted the search file or something along those lines. There's a command that you can use at your run command. So you go start run, and it's called sfc/scan now.
Yeah, the system file checker.
So what it does, so it checks all of the key files in Windows, and if any of them are corrupted or missing, it will replace them. So if somehow you've munged up, as Leo said, your search, the files that actually allow search, then you potentially could fix it that way as well.
Yeah, that's always a useful way to kind of fix things. So it's you click start.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I didn't try that one. I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, although if your instinct is correct that you did this by tweaking the registry, that won't fix that. It only finds missing or deleted files.
That's correct.
So I'm going to just do a quick search here on the internet and see if anybody has come up with anything.
While you're doing that, I did do a search on the internet, and they did have. I did come across some registry fixes, but none of them worked. And I think those registry fixes were more to do with the format of the search. Like I go back to the classic Windows search rather than like hold your hand method.
Yeah, and that's just a setting. You don't even have to go to the registry to that. Are you Service Pack 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I do notice, I found a Microsoft tech page that says there is a file required to run Search Companion. So System File Checker might, in fact, help you on that. If this file is missing, you can have problems with it. And they also suggest that one way to fix it is to download a hotfix, Q319949, which Q319949. And that's a Microsoft hotfix that will apparently replace this Search UI DLL. That may be what's missing, the srchui.dll. Without that...
sorry, Leo, can you give me that again?
Sure. srchui.dll. If that DLL is missing, yeah, your search functionality goes away. So it could be that that's what happened. Now, a System File Checker scan should find that, because that's a missing file.
That's right.
So it should find that. I'll tell you what, the best thing probably to look at, Ashley, is this tech note. This is the same number, 319949. It's a Microsoft knowledge base tech note. And I bet you, they mention a number of different fixes on here. I bet you one of these will work.
Yeah, I sort of think that you're right on the actual file missing, because it is so completely gone from the computer.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, huh? Yeah. That's weird that would happen. That also could I presume you sound like you know what you're doing. That you do have a anti-spyware protection and antivirus protection, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I design software for a living.
Oh.
So it's a little embarrassing when something like this happens.
Don't feel embarrassed, Ashley. These things happen to everybody.
Quit fiddling with the machine.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of software do you do?
It's scheduling and time recording.
Oh, that's
software.
neat. A commercial package that we would know, or?
No, it's specifically
Specialized.
for a company.
That's really great. Well, yeah, it's true that you are the type that's going to get in more trouble than the average person because, like me and like Andy, we like to mess around with the machine, don't we? And
Yes, we do.
we tweak things and mess them, and then it breaks, and then we go, uh-oh. So try this tech note in the knowledge base. I think that this is probably the most germane answer to your question. 319949. And it has a number of different fixes for that, including reinstalling.
Thanks very much, Leo, and thank you, Andy and Amber.
My pleasure. Thank you for watching
I'll
the show.
give this a shot.
Thanks, Ashley. Let us know how it works.
Thanks.
Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the future of music, downloading, technology in general. One day, maybe you'll be downloading songs for a nickel apiece. Our next guest, Sandy Pearlman, has a lot of experience in the music industry, and he's got a plan he says can make everyone happy. Stay tuned for more when Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help. Our guest has a fever, but the prescription is not more cowbell. He says we should revamp the recording industry and make file sharing work for everyone, change the laws, and sell more songs. Legendary music producer Sandy Pearlman, we welcome you. And certainly there's nobody in a better position to talk about this. A record producer, so you know the artists, you know the music industry. You were one of the founders of eMusic, which was one of the very first companies to sell music online, and you've been here from the beginning.
Yes, it's true.
And you say that eMusic screwed it all up for everybody.
Well, I think
this is your company.
Right. Well, I think the eMusic pricing models, which have been adopted pretty much universally.
Right. 99 cents a song.
Right, and/or subscription.
Right.
I think in both of these approaches are disastrous.
iTunes Music Store is not subscription. It's just not, or at least for now. Of course,
Right.
by the time this airs, it might be. Who knows? But right now, 99 cents a song and $10 a CD. And then you have the Yahoo Musics of the world. Yahoo's actually amazing. It's charging $5 a month
This week.
this week
Right.
for unlimited subscriptions, unlimited monthly usage.
Right. Why do I think these are bad models?
Yeah, why don't they
They're-
work? I mean,
well, the subscription model is, in theory, except for, of course, the fact you have to be tethered to the subscription to retain
you have to continually
access.
get
right,
it
right.
yeah,
So,
updated.
to retain access to your, to the content you've downloaded in Rhapsody.
People don't like that because they want to own their.
Right.
We're used to buying music.
Right, but there are two players involved in this game. One are the providers of the content, in this case, the internet, music services. The other players are the people who create the content,
Right.
Or own the rights.
Right.
Often the same, sometimes not.
Right.
Under a subscription situation, I don't think there's anywhere in the world where the people who actually own the rights can make any sort of reasonably large return on their work.
There's just not enough money in it.
Exactly.
Certainly not $5 a month.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
you divide that up among a million artists, forget it.
Yeah, I had an interesting discussion at the Berkman Center at Harvard about a month ago about subscriptions versus owned, wholly owned downloads, and a lot of people are very enthusiastic about subscriptions, but it came to the point, well, how exactly do you pay the rights holders, and the creators?
Well, why is the music industry going along with it? I mean, it's up to them ultimately to say yes or no, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how come they're saying yes?
It's puzzling to me, actually. Obviously, the 5 cent a month subscription price cannot be sustained.
No. Even Yahoo doesn't plan to keep doing
Right.
that.
So going along with it means that they're going along with something where I assume they hope that there'll be a ramp up in prices in the future.
What would it have to cost a month to make it make sense for the artist?
You know, we have actually never done those projections, never done those workups. We've done a lot of things, but we haven't done those workups.
Why not? You'd think that'd be the first thing somebody tried
No,
to figure out.
because we thought that at 5 cents a pop for a permanently owned download, the amount of income that was generated was so huge, and the possibilities for exploding the market were so great that it seemed to us that there was no point in going any further.
Let's get to that proposal, because the subscription model, nobody can make a living doing that. 99 cents a record, you think is too much?
Much too much.
I mean that feels like a good deal for the consumer who's paying 17 bucks a CD. They get the same CD for 10 bucks online. It's convenient, it's easy. I'm happy with it, but you think that I'm paying,
Well,
I'm overpaying?
first of all, most people aren't paying 17 bucks
Well,
a
they're
CD.
stealing it, aren't they?
They're either stealing it or they're buying it, you know. Well, yes, it's true. They're stealing
Most people are stealing it.
Asymptotic to almost all of the music that is being consumed and distributed in the world today is being consumed and delivered and distributed for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Were you familiar with the orders of magnitude here, the
no,
numbers?
let's hear some numbers.
I think at an annualized rate, at the end of last year, we are cranking along at about 28 billion free downloads a year.
28
Annualized.
billion?
28 billion.
That's something like 4 for every man, woman, and child on the planet.
Yeah. At the same time,
Wow.
the total number of sales for iTunes at the end of the year, 2.75 years into iTunes, was about 400 million.
Right. So a
let's-
fraction of that.
Yeah. A billion is 1,000 million, so it's a very small fraction.
Well,
of it.
but there's record sales, real record sales.
Yes, that's true,
And-
which are declining precipitously.
Right.
The record business worldwide is probably somewhere around 60% as big as it was 5 years ago.
Right.
The amount of royalties they're paying, have been reduced, commensurate with, that ramp down in sales. So
And one might argue why that is. It could be recession, it could be quality, it could be downloads, but I think no one would argue that everything's going to be moving to downloads. So that's the future, is music that we buy online.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think that there is a collector's mentality, and people want to
Some people want
Some
records.
people want to own
Yeah.
hard objects,
Yeah.
and they'll continue to buy them.
But that's going to be a minority.
I would agree.
Yeah.
A vast minority of
Yeah.
the music
Yeah.
consumed in
Most
the world
people will be buying
consumed
off.
on that platform.
So we've got to find a model that works. And I think everybody would agree it's got to work not just for the people who are listening, but for the people who make the music. If they don't make a living. Now, the system isn't working necessarily for a lot of them, as you well know right now. I mean, the record labels may make money, but artists generally make more money touring than they do.
I don't actually think the record labels.
Even they don't make money.
Right. The current, the record labels, in the last 50 years, the record labels have had several replatforming miracles, platform revolutions. They went from 78 to LP. They went from LP to cassette. They went from cassette to CD. They were thinking, but because they couldn't come to an agreement, of going from CD to some sort of like universally agreed upon DVD audio format. That was going to be the next platform revolution, supposedly, sometime in the late 90s, mid to late 90s. And instead, the entire content-based database got replatformed for nothing on MP3.
To download, yeah.
Right. So they didn't have the platform revolution they were anticipating. The advantage of these platform revolutions is that the promotional costs involved in breaking most music these days, coupled with the breakdown of the promotional opportunity landscape. Radio doesn't work very well. Videos are virtually a non-factor. I could go
Used
on,
to be, but they've gone.
But right, they've
really
gone
down the
away.
tubes,
Right.
yeah.
But so that the record labels have come to rely increasingly upon the recycling of catalog, which they paid for eons ago.
And the beauty of that is I had to buy it again and again and again.
Right.
I bought it on an 8-track, I bought it on a cassette, I bought it on a CD, I'll buy it in music.
I forgot about the
Download.
8-tracks.
Yeah, you left out 8-track. So the upgrade cost has really been floating.
Crashed.
It's been floating the record industry. It is now gone.
Crashed, right.
So you guys have now. When you say we, this is this Nicola song from Proposal. Who is this? Who is we?
This was cooked up. McGill University has some money from Bell of Canada, from the province of Quebec, and from the federal government to do research on recommendation engines. There's a lot of talk now about recommendation engines.
Yeah. You buy a song and it says, "Oh, you might like this."
Yeah. Well, it says,
essentially.
if it's an extremely robust and sophisticated and deep recommendation engine, it says a lot more.
Right.
It says, tell us a little bit about what you like, and you do that. A few simple bits of information. And then, depending on how deep the engine is, it can spit out as long or short a list of recommendations, which really would constitute a kind of set of music that you would love if you only knew about it.
Right.
It's kind of beyond you might like.
This takes the place of the promotional engines that we're losing.
Yes, and also in a really well integrated system would take place of most of the distribution mechanism also.
Because I can get it online.
Yes.
So in addition to this recommendation proposal, you've got a proposal for a cost of a nickel a song. Now, does that mean, how does that work? A nickel a song for every song?
I should talk a little bit more about the recommendation. You'll see exactly how this is intended to work. The thinking here is that if you can reduce, since virtually all the music being distributed and consumed in the world today is being distributed and consumed for nothing, the thinking is that the only way you can replace that, hopefully, and make some money is to sell music for almost nothing.
Right.
So
little that the cost
it's a trivial, non-invasive
so I'll
cost.
Pay it because
you'll pay it because you have some residual guilt, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and the system that would deliver this music for 5 cents a pop would deliver it in every codec known to man.
Great.
And would deliver it.
No DRM.
DRM.
No copy protection.
DRM is a weird fantasy.
Because it doesn't work.
Disutility of which has been proven by the world over and over again, and they're still working. They work on it. Who knows why? I know why IBM worked on it, because they were paid.
Right.
But the question is, why do the rights holders continue to work on this?
They want to stop people from stealing their music.
Right, but they can't.
Right.
So the thinking is that if you create a very deep and sophisticated and robust recommendation engine, let's say containing 4 million titles. The most number of titles that's in anybody's database for one of the commercial downloading systems is around 1 million. You know, 750,000 to around 1 million. ASCAP thinks there's a 4 million deep commercial.
That'd be everything.
Everything that people probably would want.
Right.
You know, if you ask me, does that include the corpus of Uzbek folk music? The answer is not much of it. But having said that, it does include. That is a very big number, and ASCAP feels that is the size of the database that would be necessary to provide.
So 4 million
coverage,
songs,
right?
effective recommendations.
Right, and by effective recommendations, I mean that you literally type in 1 or 2 sentences that gives the engine an idea of what you're interested in, and then you can tell the engine, give me 100 recommendations. Give me 500 recommendations, it'll ramp up my aggression so I can drive faster.
Right.
Give me, 10,000 recommendations for my weekend with my girlfriend.
Right.
And by the way, I don't care where these recommendations come from.
Right.
If the recommendation engine, meaning what kinds of music will be incorporated, if the recommendation engine is actually operating at the level of musical DNA, which is a controversial concept, but has some objective reality to it.
All right, I'll accept that. Coming from you.
And one reason McGill is the place where this very sophisticated work is being done is because there's a very sophisticated music perception department there.
So they know.
Yeah, and both the psychology people and the music people really know a lot about this. This whole project was started by Professor Dan Levitin there, who went to Bell. He's the Bell Chair of Information Science there, but he's a psychologist. He went to Bell, and he got some underwriting to start this, and then the province became very interested, and they kicked in some money.
So we're almost out of time. So I'll grant you that the recommendation system works great.
Right. So if you've got, if the recommendation engine spits back, let's say, I'll just nominate some random number, 10,000 titles that you might like, and you listen to samples of, let's say, 300 of them, and you like 50 of those, probably, 45 of the 50 are things you never would have thought about buying anytime, anywhere.
That's very
Suddenly, the acquisition base, not just the database, but the plausible acquisition base that the music business operates off of explodes.
So by increasing the number of songs I buy, the nickel makes a sense because I'm going to buy more music and like it better.
If you merely converted 100% of the 28 billion last year downloads that were downloaded last year, which is a lot less than is being downloaded this year at an annualized rate, you would come up with, $1.4 billion at 5 cents a pop. And it's very close to total amount of royalties paid out in the EU and North America. I don't have numbers for the rest of
So
the world.
what's the response been to this?
The response has been from the technology universe.
We love it.
We love it, right.
From the music industry.
From the music industry,
They hate it
when I
everything
rolled
else.
this out at CMW, Canadian Music Week, a couple of months ago, the chief counsel for CREA, Canadian Recording Industry Association, came. I didn't even know this. I was just talking away, and he had a box of files that he brought with pre-planned responses to everything they thought I might say. He didn't actually respond to anything I said because the pre-planned responses weren't a response to the things I said. But, you know, he assumed I was going to say some things which I didn't say at all.
So they're not listening, in other words.
They're not listening. I should add one other thing. At the end of the rainbow, the total value of all of these companies in the world is probably $10 to $12 billion. $10 to $12 billion.
Right.
It's not much money.
No.
They could be bought. There are 4 of them now. Universal, Sony BMG, Warner's, and EMI.
That's it.
They are all for sale.
Yep.
If the right price can be gotten. As we've seen from the Warner's IPO, the right price can't be gotten. Right. But be that as it may, the players like Yahoo, Google,
they're worth more than that.
you know, Apple and Microsoft could go and buy these things for pocket change.
Yep.
So if, let's say, those 4 entities bought this content base, each one owned one, so the EU Competition Committee didn't prevent
Right.
it from happening. At that point, this could be a reality. And I can
this
assure
sounds
you,
reasonable.
I can assure you that
This may
most
happen.
of these entities are interested in going in this direction.
I can see this happening.
Yeah. When you say they're worth more than that, the market cap of Google this week is $687 billion.
I think they can afford it. Paltry $12 billion.
Is $68.7 billion. I
More than
ramped it up
enough.
a bit more.
Hey, it's
than it
close
was
enough.
worth. The point is they are all worth like orders of magnitude more than the record labels are.
I think this is a great idea and fascinating. I want to know more about it. Is there somewhere we can learn more?
There were some patent issues that McGill just wanted to clear up and get their filings in before we talked on paper in great detail about this, but we will be publishing like something online very soon.
We'll make sure
with
to
a lot of detail.
put a link in the show notes at callforhelptv.com. Sandy, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you.
And now I meet the face behind the voice on it.
I hope we're going to change the world right here. And Nicola's song, I'm Ready. This could be it. Before you go out and download your favorite songs, whether for a nickel or 99 cents or nothing, I want you to go to our website, get the links that Sandy's talking about, and take our tech quiz. Our question of the day, which website was the first to feature a banner ad? Hotwired, Amazon, Yahoo, or callforhelptv.com? Get to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about when Call for Help continues.
All the 4 big players.
Hey, that was fascinating.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Time for our Flickr pick of the day. When you find a photo on Flickr that you really like and you want to bookmark it, click on the photo, and then click on the star at the top left that says Add to Faves. And then when you go to your photos in Flickr, you can go to your favorites, and those photos are automatically bookmarked. And now we have another caller. We have Adam on the line from London, Ontario.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Leo. Hey, Amber. Hey, Andy.
Hi there.
Hey, Adam.
Hey,
We're all
I
waving.
got to thank you guys.
Thanks for
Without
calling
your network of shows,
in. Yeah.
I became a geek because of you guys.
Oh, I'm so
Using friends
sorry.
and family all the time now.
Adam, you have our deepest sympathy. But as fellow geeks, welcome to the club. what can we do for you?
My cousin gave me this MP3 player that he couldn't use,
Yeah.
and it came with software,
Okay.
and it's a USB. I tried plugging it in, it just wouldn't work. It's a Nexus thing. It's a 64 MBs.
So it works. This is, by the way, why your cousin gave it to you.
Yeah.
It works. Does it work on? Well, you have to install the software, yes?
I did.
But it doesn't.
But it said it's not compatible with XP.
Oh, it's a really old one. You
Yeah.
know, okay. Is it one of these USB players that you just plug into the computer?
Yeah, just a thumb drive kind
Yeah.
of thing.
See, what happens is, ironically, most of these USB thumb drive players, and thumb drives in general, work with XP without any software, but not with Windows 98. And that's why it came with a disk for Windows 98, because it needs a driver. The reason is there's a standard USB driver called the Mass Storage class that's built into Windows XP. It's also, by the way, built into OS X. It's built into Linux. It's kind of a standard. So those operating systems, could you just plug it right in? The problem is if you have, thank you, Andrew. Look, here's a couple of these. This one's, of course, an iPod Shuffle. These are both USB mass storage classes. But older USB MP3 players were, non-standard implementations. They didn't work that like a mass storage class device. So, and that wasn't a problem on Windows 98 because Windows 98 didn't know about the mass storage class. So you had to install a driver no matter what. But now that everybody's using XP, all of these guys, you just plug it in to any computer, and if you watch, it'll say, oh, I see a USB mass storage class device, and it says hello. Now, if you can't plug this Nexus in, that means it's not a it's a non-standard USB implementation. So, you said it's a Nexus?
Yeah.
And what model number is it? Do you know? If you go to the Orbix is the company that makes these, ORBYX. If you go to their website, they do have drivers for the various...
Oh, I got the driver. You actually had the driver with the program.
But the driver's Windows, if it's Windows 98 only, not XP, you're out of luck. It's just such an old MP3 player, it doesn't work with XP, is the short version of that answer. I'm sorry. Newer ones don't need a driver, ironically. But the older ones and this is why I'm a big supporter of open standards, of non-proprietary standards. That was a proprietary standard. You're reliant on the company providing you with an XP driver. I'd go back to the company and say, where's an XP driver? They should make one. They may not because it's such an old product, they don't want it anymore. In other words, your cousin gave you a white elephant. Thanks, cuz. Sorry, Adam. Coming up next from the brains behind Yahoo Next. Find out what projects they're working on today and what cutting-edge stuff is coming up down the road right after this. The Yahoo Research Labs turn out some wonderful and wacky projects every week, from a snazzy new search engine to new versions of Messenger. Some of these beta projects make it online, some of them fizzle away, but you can get the inside scoop ahead of time on all their latest stuff. If you know where to look, Amber's here to show us.
Yep, where you have to go is next.yahoo.com, and you can check
Next,
out...
N-E-X-T.
Exactly, N-E-X-T, and you can check out all the projects that Yahoo Research Labs are working on. So you can
Now,
go and you
did
can
they
try
do this
them
because
out.
of Google?
I think so. I think that
Google has
those
the
two,
labs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Google has the labs, and they're constantly releasing things and letting people give feedback. So Yahoo's doing the same sort of thing.
Let's see what they got.
All right, so we're going to take a look at Yahoo Mindset search results. I don't know if you've heard about the Yahoo Mindset engine. So what this does is we're going to enter Charlottetown here, which
Looks
is
like you've been
my
using it.
hometown. Yeah, I've been using it a little bit. What it allows you to do is to search with the Yahoo search engine, but you're able to modify your search with this slider right here. So you can go to far over to the right to researching, and this is like informational results or educational results like Wikipedia and those types of things. There's ads at the top, but you can see right here Wikipedia is there. And then if you go far to the left, it's more of the commercial results. So if you're looking for hotels to stay in and those types of things, or shopping.
Hey,
or,
look, it works.
Yeah, so you go up and then you have an option, hotels, classifieds, drive-ins, those types of things. So it basically is a different way to search. And they've had some pretty good feedback with that. So you're able to go in and you can try that out and you can give them some feedback on that product. The next thing we're going to look at is the My Movies. This is the personalized recommendation search engine by Yahoo
Like
about
what Sandy
movies.
was talking about.
Yeah, so this is the same idea. So you go in and what you do is you go through all these movies and you give them a rating. So let's say, have you seen Collateral?
Loved Collateral.
Okay, so I've seen it as well.
A+.
Let's give it an A+.
Yes.
So we give that.
Surprising A+. I didn't
Yeah.
expect to love it so much.
The
What a great movie.
soundtrack is amazing
Yeah.
too. It's really, really good. So you go in, you give that an A+, and then you can scroll down and you can.
It'll tell you other stuff you
Yeah,
like?
it'll tell you other stuff, other ideas that you may like. So that's a really neat thing as well. And then they also have the Yahoo Music engine. So this is actually a music player, like Windows Media Player, that you can play the music on that you buy off of the Yahoo Music Store, the unlimited music
So
store.
this is stuff they're trying, not necessarily going to make it.
Exactly.
They want you to try before?
Yeah, some of the stuff, like if you go back to the homepage, you'll see there's tons of
Look at all
different
these
beta
things.
projects. If you scroll down, there's a gift finder, which I've tried out, which is pretty good, and it has tons of different options as
Do
far
they
as
ask
searching.
for feedback, or you just...
Yeah, you can submit feedback as well, so you can discuss with others, you can read more about it, and they have all these different projects. So those are, I think the Mindset search results are pretty much one of the most interesting projects.
Yahoo.com.
Yep. Go try some stuff out.
If you want to know more about Yahoo's latest and greatest, visit callforhelptv.com. We should have a next.callforhelp.tv.
That's a good idea.
Be like, Leo died.
Oh, no.
He was exhausted. Although a picture is often said to be worth 1,000 words, sometimes a clever quip or caption can sum up that hilarious moment caught on film. We'll find out how to create your own captions on your own pictures, just like a comic book, when Call for Help continues. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. You know, some photographs just beg, scream for, a caption. Maybe it's the look on Grandma's face, or the way Uncle Joe is staring at Aunt Betsy with the daggers coming out of his eyes. A few well-placed word bubbles can do wonders to spice up the old family album and make them hate you forever. So today we've got our Photoshop guy, Greg Danbrook, here to show us how to give voice to those otherwise silent images. This actually came about because you brought some pictures in that had captions on them.
Yeah.
And I said, show me how to do that.
I do a lot of editing.
You do this?
Yeah, I edit a lot of weddings for one of my friends, and at 2, 3 in the morning, you get a little tired. You find an image, and you think that just has to have something written on it. So I'm just going to show you how to throw the little
Put some thought bubbles.
the little
on.
thought bubbles. Here's
Okay.
one that I've already finished. I'll just show you quickly. We'll make a new layer.
Hold on, we're going to wait till we get a screenshot here
Okay,
before
if you wanna take a look
before
at
you
this
go
one here.
forward. Yes. So what is he saying?
He said he was having chest pain, so I gave him a spot on the floor. Mind his feet.
She's looking down at him.
Yeah, obviously not an image you put into the album, but
no, what you mind in the back.
you throw a caption
So
on.
that
and
looks
suddenly-
just like a cartoonist did it. So
Yeah.
how do we do that?
I'll show you.
This is
First thing-
Photoshop?
This is Photoshop. So you grab your text tool, which is the T over in the text palette, and you type in some text. You can see
So you
here.
start with the text.
You start with the text because that's good. You find a nice open spot in the image where you think it'll look right.
That's going to be the size. Tell you what size it is.
Yep. So there's the text that I typed in.
Okay.
And then you're going to make a new layer above the background. So you click the new layer icon. Grab your elliptical marquee tool. If you're already on the rectangular, if you click and hold, you get the elliptical marquee.
I think a lot of people don't realize that those tools all have extra tools.
A lot of the
underneath.
tools, if there's an arrow in the corner, if you click and hold on that tool, you get other options.
Very handy.
So you take your elliptical marquee, make a marquee that fits just around the text, and then you fill that with white. So under Edit, Fill, use white, hit OK. So
Oh.
there's the basis of it. Now,
Oh.
we make a new layer and another marquee. Say we want it to be coming in from this side over here. So we make another oval. And once you've made the selection, you click inside the selection, you can move it around. So we're going to use this part here to point to his head. So we take this, edit.
This is another ellipse.
This is another ellipse on another layer. We fill it with white. Now we've got the beginning of the line. Move
and
it a
because
little.
it's on a layer behind the text layer, it's not blocking the
Yes,
text.
the text layer is floating above it.
Okay.
So now we've moved this marquee, and if we hit delete, by hitting delete, it removes whatever's within the selection. So now you've got your little pointed,
How did you do that?
speech thing.
You're brilliant.
and there it is. Now, if you want to get a little bit fancier, I can show you here. If we turn off the bottom layer, there's a function in Photoshop called Merge Visible, where it takes whatever layers you can see and puts them onto one layer.
Now you will want to do that if you want to drag the bubble around.
If you want to drag it around, now you can see if we take our Move tool, we can put this
it moves
wherever
as
we
one
want.
group. Otherwise, it wouldn't.
Yeah. And if you want to put a little bit of a black line around the outside, like cartoons always have a little bit of a black line, we're going to go Select, Load Selection, Layer 6 Transparency. We hit OK. Now there's a selection around it. We go Edit, Stroke, and we're going to choose black. OK. We'll hit it with maybe 3 pixels in the center. Hit OK.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
when we deselect that marquee, it's done.
There it is. And it's nice black. You could put a shadow behind it too, just by putting a fill.
Yeah, if you
on
wanted
the
to,
layer.
yeah, you could add a drop shadow to it to give it a bit of a darkened effect.
Very cool. All the details, the step-by-step on our website. at callforhelptv.com. Of course, Greg is a sought-after photo retoucher who doesn't usually do this to your photos. Honest.
No, I don't.
He works with commercial advertising and fashion photographers, although I bet he has a little portfolio somewhere, you know, with Giselle going. He also teaches seminars at the Canadian Photographic Center to read over the step-by-step instructions Greg demonstrated. The show notes have them all. Callforhelptv.com. Hey, one more chance to take our daily tech quiz. Don't give away the answer, Mr. D. Which website was the first to feature a banner ad? Was it Hotwired, Amazon, Yahoo, or callforhelptv.com? Think about that, cogitate, contemplate, and then stick around because we'll tell you the answer right after these words. Our question of the day, what's the first website to feature a banner ad? Who came up with this one? Who's responsible?
Katya, I think.
Katya?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Hotwired.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to guess, Andy?
That's what I'm going to guess, too.
It was Hotwired, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody even remember Hotwired?
I do, yeah.
It was a wired search engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they sold it.
Who did they sell it to?
I don't know, go.com or somebody? Or somebody like that.
It immediately faded to obscurity, as
Yes.
did many of those.
It was good, though.
It was a great site. I loved
Yeah.
Hotwired. It was
Yeah.
one of, in fact, after Alta Vista, but before Google, Hotwired was the
Hotwired
best.
was it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
It kind of Alta Vista was the first one.
Yeah.
Then Yahoo, well, Yahoo and Alta Vista, but Yahoo was never really a search engine. So Alta Vista, and then Hotwired was good because it kind of aggregate searches from a bunch of different places.
Yeah, and it was just very geeky.
It was
also
smart.
selective, and
Yeah.
you could search within a search and all kinds of
Yeah.
fun stuff, yeah.
Long gone.
Oh, well.
Oh, the good old days. I remember when the web was still called the World Wide Web. Have you ever found that your Windows desktop is just too teensy-weensy for all the programs you want to display? A bigger monitor would help, but why spend the extra cash when you can buy a low-cost display or 2 or 3 and add it to your system? Andy's here to show us how to use multiple displays on Windows XP.
Oh, yeah.
Was this a hard thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I had to recruit the help of Mr. Sean Carruthers, our lab manager.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man in the coat.
Who is now, I don't know where he is, but anyway. No, he worked long and hard at this, and he sweated a lot.
Yeah, this is
over
not
it.
easy.
It's not easy, and it crashed a million times. But let me show you how
got
it's
it working.
supposed to work. So we have, of course, 4 monitors here. They're flat panel. They don't have to be flat panel, and they don't have to be the same brand. In fact, we have an IBM, and then we have a
Doesn't
Samsung
matter.
SyncMaster.
Same size, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Now, do me a favor and just turn the end one
Oh,
on
yeah,
there,
this one's not on yet.
because
So now, these aren't all showing the same thing. This is one extent.
Oh.
Oh, goodness gracious, is
Oops.
Andy giving Mikey the pie. So this is one
this
desktop,
is one desktop here, right?
but it's really wide.
Right. So let me tell you how we did this. So of course the machine that this is plugged into one
machine.
There's an AGP slot with a Radeon 9800 from ATI.
So that's card number 1. So
Card
each
number 1.
you have to have a card for each monitor, right?
No, you don't.
You can have a dual head
you can
card?
have dual-headed cards. So here is a card, an ATI from ATI. It's got a DVI connector.
Yeah.
And it's got a VGA connector.
Okay.
Okay. So you can actually plug one monitor into here and one monitor into there.
That's a dual-headed card.
That's a dual-headed card. Now,
That's the ATI.
this is it's another 9800, I think, or something.
7,000.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Doesn't really matter.
Well, one thing
They don't have to be the same
One thing
card?
that does matter, the same brand is helpful.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's using the same driver stack. Right? So the
Okay.
Catalyst drivers.
Oh, that would
for
make
all-
sense.
Yeah.
It would
Otherwise-
be even better to have all the same card, I
You
bet.
can't, right? Because you have an AGP version
Oh, you
versus
can't.
PCI. So here's the thing. So you have one card in the AGP slot, which
you
is
only have
standard
one of
video,
them.
only
Okay.
one of them. And then you have these little slots that you
PCI
hold over
slots.
called PCI slots, yeah,
Right.
from ages ago. So you want to go get yourself a PCI card, dual-headed preferably.
So this is AGP, so this wouldn't go on the PCI
No,
slot. You can tell
correct.
it's got a little hook on the back there.
That's right. And then this guy is going to sit next to it.
And that's a PCI card. So then we're going to get 2 or 4 of these, depending on
Well,
whether we got
we
dual
could
heads.
use 2 monitors on here, and we could get 4 more of these to put a maximum of 10 monitors. Now your machine's going to go,
Your machine, Sean.
with
Sean's
of
gonna
course,
go,
Sean's going to fall down. But let me show you a couple
Look
of
at this,
interesting,
is so cool.
interesting tricks here. If I can get my mouse to work here. So here's my primary desktop here, and I'm going to right-click and I'm going to choose Properties. And we're going to go into our settings here.
Oh,
You
it
can
shows
actually-
you all 4.
So you can actually see this. One of the cool things is you can actually say, well, which one's which? Well, you click on the identify, and it says,
Oh, look at that.
hey, look at that.
Show, if you show all 4 monitors there real
Yeah.
quick,
So I'm going to do it
show
again.
all 4 monitors, you
I'm
can
gonna
see
go
what happens.
Identify key, and I'm going to go click.
You see? So each one
See?
has a number. Yeah.
All we go. All right. So you can actually change the resolution on each one of these if you want. Let's choose number 4. And let's take the resolution down just a tad, because I want to show you kind of a trick that
One by one you can do that.
gets kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. So look how small that resolution is. Here, there's a problem here, right? First of all, we're going to close this. If you go down, I'm going to go down the monitor here, and I'm going to try to drag it across.
It's not going directly. They have to be the same resolution for that to make sense.
Yeah, but if I go all the way up here, then
look
what happens.
So you could have a magnifying monitor.
You could have a if you wanted to.
The monitor 4 is my magnifier.
Ideally, you want them all to be about the same, all about the same.
Oh, look how small it is. It's teeny.
So let's go all the way up. Let's put it back the way it was here again.
Much better.
Okay.
It's still not as big as the other one.
No. But one of the fun things is, of course, if I maximize this little spreadsheet here, if you're
Is it going to go across all 4?
No, if I maximize it, it stays on one screen.
Okay.
But if I actually grab the edges...
You could stretch it? Oh!
Look at that.
Oh! I love that!
All the accountants now going, wow.
That's cool. I could see all 12 quarters.
Right, and well, look at that. So you could actually see, your entire spreadsheet, especially if you have like one of those 400-column long ones.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this mode here. Because I want to show you, before we go, I want to show you one cool thing. This is for the gamers out there. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
It'd be great for a game.
Yeah.
Because you could curve these around. You'd have peripheral vision.
And watch, we've got Microsoft Flight Simulator running here.
Right.
And they have 4 different views, right, from your cockpit. You have cockpit mode. Now, not all games will support this.
Right.
But some select games do.
Well, typically what you do is you'd have the left window, the right window, and then the center window,
left,
and
right,
you'd be able to look left and right.
There you go, exactly.
And you can put this one behind you and go, ah!
Now, before you get any good ideas about watching videos,
that won't work.
It won't work because of this overlay issue. Here's Amber, lovely Amber.
It won't go to other.
Let's try to drag her over here. Look what happens. You only get kind of half of it.
Okay. That's good enough.
But then if you pop over, all of a sudden, it works.
But it only displays on
It'll only display on one monitor at a time.
And these crazy Mexican hat dance.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So there you go.
That is very cool. Not easy to do.
Not easy.
But if you want to know, Sean has all the notes.
He did. Yeah, he did a
everything he
really
went through.
great job of putting comprehensive how-to step-by-step. So thank you, Sean.
Callforhelptv.com. Sean is a wizard.
He is.
You should see the screensaver on this. Our final words right after this. Stay right here. Look at that. There it is. That's the screensaver I was talking about. Isn't that beautiful? And it goes, see, it stretches. Ooh, ooh. Just for that reason alone, you should spend hours pulling out your hair just so you can do that. If you want to be on the show, we'd love to have you on the show. All you have to do is go to the website, callforhelptv.com, and on the left there's a little link that says Ask a Question. Click that link. Fill out the form. We need to have, and we will not put you on the air unless we know how to get back to call you. They don't book people via email because it just takes too long. So make sure you put your phone number and when we can reach you. And we love calls from down under, from Australia. We get as many of those as we can on. So please do go to the website. And of course, show notes are there. And what do you think about this 5 cents song? You like that idea?
Yeah, I like that.
Sandy
a lot.
came up
Pretty
with?
good.
I know. Because then I would have
works
saved
for me.
a fortune.
So I asked him,
Yeah.
because he's famous for, he produced Blue Oyster Cult Don't Fear the Reaper with the cowbell. And I asked him that Saturday Night Live skit, true story. He said, nothing like the real thing. He said, no, I didn't say, I got a fever. I need cowbell. I should have asked him how the cowbell got in there.
Yeah, that would have been a
What
good
a great
answer.
record.
Fine, we'll have him back.
It was neat to have him on,
Yeah, lots
and
of
I
interesting
hope that
stuff.
this thing works, this McGill plan. It'll really be great. Hey, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser.
Don't whine.
Don't moan.
Oh, don't. I'm sorry, it's my turn. Don't yell. Just call for help. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.